Rick from Rick's Rock School, back for another episode of Dog, Coffee, and Guitars. I am excited today because we are going to learn the magic of triads. This is a lesson that I've honestly taught about 10,000 times in my life. I've been teaching guitar for a better part of 13 years now. Whenever I notice a student is taking it seriously, like their parents are not making them do it, but they truly want to learn, step one is triads. We learn about triads, and it's like a fretboard navigation system. It's a GPS, if you will. And you saw in the opening segment there, whether it's The Trooper by Iron Maiden or Franz Ferdinand, Take Me Out, these songs are going to be built. If you were watching closely enough, I'm playing the same notes for both of those songs. Those notes are not random. They come from chords. We're going to learn the chords today, and then a little later on, Slug is going to make an appearance. We're going to do a dog review. Look, Slug gets an 11 out of 10. We're not reviewing Slug, but we're going to do a dog product review, and we'll get to that too, and that'll be fun. So let's just get right to it, guys. What is this all about? A fretboard navigation, a GPS? Well, if you know scales and you are learning your pentatonic scales, that's a great place to start. I want you to look at your pentatonic scale like a life raft. If it becomes the only thing that you do and you stay on that life raft too long, you will drown. Do not drown. Do this instead. Use that as a life raft and something to come back to. It's always fun when you come back to that pentatonic scale, but don't make it the entirety of your fretboard knowledge. I'm going to show you a 3-note chord and a rule that I like to call the 5 and 7 rule to help us get around on the fretboard. So, both of those songs that we did were in the key of G. So we are going to work in the key of G today. We'll start with chord number 1 in the key of G major. In the key of G major, chord number 1 is going to be G major. So we're going to learn 3 ways to play a major chord and 3 ways to play a minor chord. And that 5 and 7 rule is going to bring us all over the fretboard. Watch this, check this out. Here's a G major triad. We want the 10th fret of the E string, the 12th fret of the B, and the 12th fret of the G. Together, they're gonna sound like this. You get G major chord. Then if you melt them down and add some of the notes from the surrounding scale, sounds so pentatonic, but the pentatonic is still there. Now it's like a welcome to old friend instead of the entirety of the things that we know how to do. So what's this 5 and 7 rule? Well, that was the chord, 12, 12, 10, G major. It's a G, a B, and a D. Straight up G major chord. If we move down 5 frets, we will come to the 5 chord. When I say down, I mean lower towards the headstock. If we move down 5 frets, you'll come to the 5 chord in the key. This is true for any key that you're in. Play the root triad, move down 5 frets. Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 7, and 5. That's going to bring us to a D major. G, A, B, C, D. Look at that. D is the 5th. So, G major, we move it down 5 frets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your D major. And if we move that down 2 frets, or 7 frets away from where we started, we have the 5 and 7 rule. And our 4 chord is a C major chord. So we can move between C, D, and G. But it gets better, it gets better, it gets better. Wait a minute. It works both ways. If we move up 5 frets instead, we go from our G major to our C major. We'll find a C to the 4 chord. Look at this. Starting on G, and let's move up 5 frets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C major. How'd that happen? And then 2 more frets, D major. Like clockwork, the 5 and 7 rule. And it works whether you're on the root major chord or the relative root minor chord. Let's explore that. In any key, we have a minor chord, or a minor scale, if you will, that is the relative of the root. What do I mean by relative scale? Well, if the key of G has, and you can go back to the Modes Mystery Series, and I explained all of this, so if you've watched all that, I won't give you the long explanation, but real quick, the key of G is G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. We have 7 notes. The key of E minor, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. It is the same 7 notes in a different order. Every major key has a relative minor key. So, and you should memorize 1 and 6. Now, and this is important because this is how we're going to navigate the fretboard. You've got to be aware of where your major root is and where your relative minor root is. And then the whole fretboard is yours. We know where G major is now, 12, 12, 10. We know how to find the 5 chord and the 4 chord in both directions now. Here is your 6 chord. It's an E minor chord, 7, 8, 9. This is going to be the chord where those 2 songs, I'm going to teach you those 2 songs. We're going to learn Iron Maiden. We're going to learn Franz Ferdinand. Don't worry, but that's where these chords are located, the E minor chord. And it's 9, 8, and 7. Let me switch over to clean real quick. Give you my favorite part of Stairway to Heaven. I know I break all the rules. I always play Stairway to Heaven. Go back, watch me play the Stairway to Heaven solo. I thought I did a pretty good job. Now the A minor, we're going to go around in A minor. We are still in the key of G. Listen to this, one of my favorite parts. E minor we just learned, D major, C major, back to D major, the 6 to the 5 to the 4 chord, back to the 5 chord, and then back to A minor. So Jimmy Page is using it, and you should too. These triads are so very useful. I'll stick with this clean channel for at least a little while until we get to Maiden, and then we're gonna rock again. E minor, D, C, and then D again. So look, once you know that 5 and 7 rule, you don't really have to use it anymore. The 5 and 7 rule is only to help you find all of these chords. After that, you start to blend, like you saw with Jimmy Page there, your major triads and your minor triads together. So 5 and 7 rule, let's see if it works with minor chords. Here's your 6 chord, E minor, 7, 8, 9, E, B, G. If we moved up 5 frets, we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look, there's A minor. That's the 2 chord in this key, G, A. And then if we moved up 2, we'd have B minor. So up 5 brings us to A minor, and up 7 brings us to B minor. The 5 and 7 rule. And I promise it works both ways. Look, here's your E minor again. Let's move down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a B minor. And we move down 2 more. You gotta use the open E string. If you go down 2, 3, and 4, move down 2. Now you're on 0, 1, and 2, and you have an A minor triad. So there's your root minor shape and your root major shape, and you've got 3 of each in this key. Let's learn the inversions. This is going to be a whole comprehensive triad lesson. Here's your inversions, and we'll go a little quicker now. Your inversions go like this. If we want to play a major, let's play a major chord with, we'll take a G major chord, and instead of the G being in the root, let's put the 3rd in the root. We'll make this with a B in the root note. This is still a G chord. 3, 3, and 4. 3E, 3B, and 4. And this is a movable shape. So that's a G major. Let's see what happens if we move this up 5 frets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, C major. And let's see if we move this up 2 more frets. Oh, D major. So we have G major, C major, D major. It's that easy. Now if you're on that D major, let's just see what happens if we are from the D and we go up 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to G. If you moved up 5 from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're starting to run out of room, but you'd have a C major. Gotta do the slash thing to get that to work. Anyways, so You'd have your C major, G major, D major, the whole fretboard is figured out. You are going to melt these down to make solo licks. I'm going to show you how Iron Maiden and Franz Ferdinand did it, but start to melt these down. Put on a backing track and forget your pentatonic scale exists for a second. As an exercise, don't actually do that, but as an exercise, forget that the pentatonic scale even exists. Throw it out and focus on the chord tones. If you're playing over an E minor chord, try an E minor triad. And then make it an E minor 7 triad. With that D note, the whole deal. Take the G. G major 7. There's a D major triad. The whole deal. It's just a lot of fun. So let's keep going. There's your inverted major chord. Here's an inverted minor chord. I like this one a lot. You only need one finger to play it. This has the minor third in the root. 12, 12, 12. I guarantee you've played this chord a million times and didn't even realize it. Like if you've ever played War Pigs with the whole deal. Played a minor triad. Or if you've ever played Float On by Modest Mouse. Here's a B minor. Now, hold on, wait a minute. Here's from the 12th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's B minor. Let's play a little Modest Mouse. Whole deal. Look, triads. There's your minor triad. Here's a major triad. Here's an E minor triad. Works no matter where you put it. So again, E minor, move down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got a B minor on the 7th fret, E, B, and G. Move down 2 more, and you've got an A minor. Gotta love it. Now, let's do so you have 2 shapes, major, 2 shapes, minor. Let's do a third shape for major and minor. This is what I call the D shape. So if we're gonna play a G major chord, we need this to play Modest Mouse, The Trooper, and Franz Ferdinand. Here's a G major, 7E, 8B, and 7G. And if you've been playing guitar for even a week, this should look familiar to you. It looks like our D major chord. So wait, watch this. Here's a G major. What happens when we move down 5 frets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D major. And then if we move down 2 more, or 7 frets away from where we started, open G, 1st fret B, open E, you've got a C major triad. If you're a Wolf Mother fan, one of my favorite Wolf Mother tunes, White Unicorn, literally only using that D-shaped triad to put that lick together. At the 14th fret, at the 12th fret, at the 7th fret, at the 9, and back at the 2nd. So there you go. A little bit of Wolf Mother too. A little bit of Wolf Mother on the program. Gotta love it. So you get your G major, you got all your major chords. That's G, C, D, and E, B, A for 3 shapes. Here it is for minor. We use a D major shape to put that third inversion together, second inversion together, excuse me. You got your D minor shape, okay? We don't have a D minor in this key though, but we do have an E minor, so if we went like this, 3rd fret E, 5th fret B, and the 4th fret of the G, you'd have an E minor triad. An alternative rock song in the early 2000s, and the hook was like, maybe it was like My Chemical Romance or Hawthorne Heights or something, I don't remember, but anyways, they did that. So you have E minor, and if we move up, now we don't have room to move down 5 here, but if we moved up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's an A minor triad. I just put out a Coheed video on a song called The Suffering, and Travis Stever's main lead guitar lick in The Suffering is built around that A minor triad. All your favorite guitar players, they know this. They've been using this. We did Eddie Van Halen last week. You know, Somebody Get Me a Doctor is all that minor and major triad shapes. Anyways, So there you have it, guys. Here's your minor shape. We move up 5, you get A minor. Move up 2 more, you get B minor. If we move up 5 more, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are back to E minor. This is a foolproof method, the 5 and 7 rule. I teach this to all of my students that are learning the fretboard for the first time, and it's like a game changer. I see people that have no idea how to leave the box, all of a sudden look like they are freed up. And that is, to me, is just a beautiful thing to watch, and watching people be happy playing guitar and having fun playing guitar is my reason for doing all of this, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll give you one. We could literally sit here all day and I could give you inversions, and I'll give you one that we can move to the B string, G string, and D string, just because you should all be familiar with this shape. The A shape. That A shape is movable. So like, check it out. That A shape, we're love Randy Rhoads. Right? Now, it worked. Eddie's using it too. Gotta love it. That A shape, now I'll give you one more. Actually, I lied, I'll do one more so you get the A shape. And attached to the hip at every A shape is this C shape. Now this, so this is an A chord and this is a D chord. No matter where you moved it, like this would be a C chord, this would be an F. This would be a G, this would be a C. So, from that A shape, from that 1 finger A shape, 2nd fret D, G, and D, middle finger 3rd fret B, ring finger 4th fret D, and leave the 1st finger flat to cover that G string. And look, where do we know that? I'll do an entire lesson just on Brian May. That day is not today, but as you can see, Brian May is doing it too, and if Brian May is doing it, that's a good enough reason for anybody to do that. So that those two shapes are going to work together so wonderfully well, and I don't even have to show you. By now, you should probably see what would happen if we moved that up 5 frets, and if we moved that up 2 more frets. The 5 and 7 rule, guys, it is foolproof GPS method. Now you have that, and I promised I would show you Iron Maiden. I promised I would show you Franz Ferdinand. We're going to do both. So Iron Maiden, let's just get right to it. They are using a combination of this E minor triad and this B minor triad. So we're going to be using notes from both of those minor triads to put this together. It's in the key of G, or the key of E minor. And we're going like this. Love it. So 8th fret B, and then we're going to do a trill between that 7th fret of the B and the 8th fret. Then you're going to grab the 7th fret of the high E string. So it's, and then back to, so you're trilling and you're playing that 8th fret of the B first, trill, and then 7th fret of the E and trill. Then we're going to hit the 8th fret of the B and the 9th fret of the G, and then we're going to go. And you can see when you get a chance to sit down with this, and I'll post tabs to all of these chord shapes. Look for that. I'll post chords to all these chord shapes, tabs for all these chord shapes. You will see that this lick is built entirely out of those chords. Some combination of E minor, G major, and B minor without having to move. Have fun with that. Find an Iron Maiden backing track or find an Iron Maiden backing track or just play to the original. That one is so much fun. Now, Franz Ferdinand, we're going to go like this. Practice for the picking hand too. Another thing, this one starts on an upbeat. Make sure you are tapping your foot, and if you are tapping your foot in time, you're going to start this lick when your foot is in the air, right? on the upbeat. And again, it's built out of all the same chords and a lot of the same notes that Iron Maiden is using. The 8th fret of the B to the 9th fret of the G. Then 9, 7. So it's, and then the 9th fret of the D, 7th fret G, and the 9th fret. Now you might be going, okay, well, hold on. Where's that 9th fret of the D come in? That's not in any of those triad shapes. Well, hold on. Yes, it is. Showed you the C shape. This is a G chord. Where else do we know that? How about Jimmy does it, Brian May does it, Adrian Smith and Janet Gers and Dave Murray do it. You should do it too. I hope you had fun. All right, guys, thanks for bearing with me, shouting at you for the last 20 minutes. I want to shed some spotlight here on a local Philadelphia artist that, and it's not often that I'm walking around and I see a street artist that totally like stops me in my tracks and makes me go, I have to buy this. Met a guy who goes by the name of De La Cruz outside of Reading Terminal Market, Philadelphia. If you've never been to Reading Terminal Market in Philadelphia, by the way, it gets an 11 out of 10. It's a good enough reason to move to Philadelphia, but I digress here. This guy, he was doing pencil drawings on the sidewalk, and I saw this picture of Jimmy, and I'm like, I gotta own this. And I wish I got a chance to talk to him longer. And I guess that's one of the things that this whole coronavirus pandemic thing has really done, and it's kind of taken away our humanity a little bit. We're kind of afraid to stop and talk to strangers anymore. Not that that's a good idea to begin with, but you get what I'm saying here. If I ever get a chance to meet him again, I want to first buy another drawing from him. But if you are outside of Reading Terminal Market, this guy is doing drawings of Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin and a bunch of other people just like this. De La Cruz, I don't think he has an Instagram or anything like that. So you're gonna have to go to Reading Terminal Market and find him, talk to him, buy one of these drawings. Fantastic. De La Cruz, you get an 11 out of 10, man. This is great. Dog review before I go. I'm going to say this. Slug's excited. I know he hasn't made an appearance yet. Don't worry, he's coming. I needed a new harness because this dog broke the Kong harness from PetSmart. We were playing bocce ball outside at a barbecue, and we had him, in his harness tied up to a tree so he could hang out with us, and he broke the harness because Slug loves bocce ball. So I had to go buy a new one, went down to a local store on 3rd and Market, doggy style on 3rd and Market, shout out. They sold me one of these, the Easy Dog harness. I won't say anything bad about the harness except you need a degree from MIT to figure out how it works. Once you get this working though, so far, Slug hasn't been able to break it. If you have a strong dog, pit bull, Doberman, something like that at home, these Easy Dog harnesses, they get the job done. They're a little hard to put together and they fall apart, and sometimes if the dog is thrashing around a little bit, look, this can come undone. Which the Kong harness doesn't. I don't like the fact that it can come undone like this, and then you got to start over, and then the dog's like, what the heck, man, you got to take me outside. So all in all, because it works and because it's strong, it's going to get a 7 out of 10. It's hard to put together, and it's a little bit of a pain, but if you're in the market, you have a strong dog and nothing else works, this works. Slug hasn't been able to break it in about 6 months yet. Easy dog harness, that's it. Slug, we're not going to, okay, maybe I will. I'll take him outside. Oh, wait, everybody say goodbye. Slug is here. Yeah, he didn't go nowhere. It is Dog Coffee and Guitars. And as always, guys, make a donation to your local shelter. And Slug and I are going to teach you a free guitar lesson. And if you adopt a dog or a cat from a shelter after watching an episode of Dog Coffee and Guitars, we're going to make it a month of lessons. That's a month of free lessons for adopting a dog. Go and just go get your best friend. Don't even think about it. Go do it. Help animals. Guys, once again, pet dogs, drink coffee, play guitar. It's good for you. I'll see you next time.